Hello everyone. Hello. Don't know why I'm nervous. I'm weirdly nervous tonight. Feels like I haven't streamed in ages. But I know it's only been a few days. Busy few days. Um Forgefiend is the thing we're painting today. So let's get to it. Just gotta fix something super quickly. Can't really read the. There we go. Hopefully the music's not too loud. Hope all the sound levels and everything sound a little bit better. The mic's a little bit closer than it is usually, so I apologize if I'm loud. But yeah. Right. Time to get to work. Hey Mango, thank you for stopping in. Enjoy the look. I hope you're having a good day. Hope things are going well for you. Because it is an evening hobby stream for me. Where we're using the daylight lamp. So there's going to be some kind of dramatic looking shadows. I'll be able to work around them, but I apologize if it makes the screen look a little bit strange. We're still kind of in the base coating stage, so the shadows shouldn't affect what I'm doing too much in terms of the painting. But an overhead light source is usually best. So it's kind of late night work. Yeah, I'm just taking the this dark warp block bronze and just adding kind of some contrast in here to kind of just get a little bit of difference between this section, the barrels of the gun, the ends of the gun, all that kind of thing. A little bit of variety. Now, I didn't actually intend to paint this model again for a little while, but I didn't have anything else prepped yet for stream, so at least I knew this one. I kind of still know what I'm doing with it. So rather than cancel stream, I'm working on this a bit more. Alrighty, but we're just working our way through this one. We're not rushing. I've got some music from Halo ODST on in the background today. Some nice rainy vibes. It is the coldest day of the year so far here. I think it hit -7, something like that, today. So it's chilly, to say the least. Like the rainy vibes kind of felt comfy. It's a little bit different. A little bit of something new. Alrighty. Working our way around on the second gun. Again, this is just kind of like a really dark, burnt bronze look. Which is just a nice way to add some easy contrast without, you know, overwhelming with detail or anything like that. Just a nice little bit of variation in the metals. I think I'm also gonna take this and do the eye grills, I guess you'd call them. They're not really eyeballs, are they? Just, again, I'm trying to keep it light so it doesn't go too far into the grill itself. Alright. Okay. I need particular, there we go. Particular flesh tone. Because I need to go over some of the flesh tones before I start adding any more variant colours onto this. So I think today I'll tackle a lot of the rust colouring. But before I do, I want to make sure that I've got all of the first layer of colours in nice and solid. So just making sure I'm covering over any places that I missed the first pass. Any places that don't quite look as solid as I'd like them to. All that sort of usual stuff. Okay. The thing I'm sort of going for with this is very body horror-ish. So taking a lot of notes from things like The Thing and The Fly and all that sort of stuff, and just kind of going for a critter machine hybrid more than anything else. So I want this flesh to look realistic wherever possible, or at least believable. There's actually some areas up here that I missed. I think one of the things I'm also going to do to kind of add to the body horror-ish elements is kind of try and fit in flesh tones around sort of in increases like where I'm working right now. You can just kind of sort of get the impression of something underneath all the layers, but it's not really clear what's there. And I'm going to try and give the idea of, you know, flesh underneath all that. It should hopefully lend itself a little bit to the idea that it's organic. It's not just machinery. Taking a small break from that while that paint settles. Let's try and get some workable colour out of this part. There we go. Again, this is just detail. Because these would be quite elaborate machines. You know, there'd be a degree of artistic flair as much as lethal purpose behind them. So I'm kind of trying to give the impression that there was a lot of, there was a lot put into these. A lot of engineering, a lot of resources. I just want to kind of pay attention to the details. So the trick with any sort of faded, rusted, corroded effects is to make them pretty first. You can't get more authentic hints of former glory than by painting the former glory yourself and then wrecking it. And that's kind of what I'm working on here at the moment, just doing the clean version. Before Grandfather Nurgle got his hands on him. And started corrupting them from the inside out. Okay, I didn't. Maybe there was a section I'd missed. Alright, and the same again. Just lift some of that excess paint off the brush. This particular paint that I'm using is very dried out and very clumpy. It would normally go on a lot more smoothly than this. Makes it a little bit trickier to work with, but I don't want to waste paint. As long as it still goes on the brush and then goes on the model, I will use it until I can't use it anymore. There we go. Big gold button on the back. I don't know what that's actually meant to be. Maybe gold isn't the right colour for it, but it looks decorative to me. Now we repeat the process on the other side. Just getting those discs painted in. So just going around on these discs just to create that, like, both the contrast that I mentioned earlier with the dark bronze, but also just the sense of how much would have gone into one of these. It's like the dreadnoughts, they don't just mass produce these guys. They are, to a degree, unique. Each one would be almost unique. In the sense of the demon possessing them would effectively be unique. It over time would corrupt them in unique ways. I don't know. Demon engines are one of those uniquely underdeveloped aspects of 40k lore that kind of get left to interpretation a lot. It involves a lot of talk of heretical things like demons and the warp and demon forging that aren't really found in many imperial codexes. Mainly because the Inquisition would come along and exterminatus your whole entire planet if they found one in your possession. Because heresy. Right. Those guns are starting to look a little more fancy pants, which is cool. I'm just gonna take the same approach with these guys at the end here. It's gonna look like data jacks. Yeah, like headphone jacks or something like that. So I'm gonna give them gold as well. Because, you know, even the Dark Mechanicum doesn't skimp on connectivity. Headphone jacks. Done. Apologies to anyone who actually knows what they are and may have just been offended by me calling them headphone jacks, but I see it like I see it. Unless I'm too tired to look up the actual name of them. Sue me, I'm tired. Right. Give me a lot of very small area brushwork, I think, today. So, next up, going in these glowy bits, for want of a better phrase. These areas here, I'm just kind of getting a little bit of yellow splashed in there. Again, still going for that sort of fiery effect. especially in these little like grill ports, I guess you call them. I don't know. Trying not to overwhelm what's already there. So I'm not really going for a specific pattern or anything on that. I'm just kind of marrying up what's already there. Finding the spaces and the gaps. Kind of lightly dry brushing. Doing some sort of directional strokes, that kind of thing. Nothing too fancy. I'm kind of keeping it, trying to make it look textured, but also just kind of getting colour in now more than anything. I'm trying not to have the same pattern twice. So if I've got one where it's all down one side, I'll try and separate some and yeah, vary it up a little bit. And that's mainly so it doesn't look like a print or like a deliberate design. Yeah, I don't want it to look like fire-coloured polka dots or anything like that. Okay, that's one side. Same on the other side. Detail work, aka concentration mode. Even though this is kind of still basic. It's a weird in between detail work and basic stuff for this model. And last couple of faces. As a complete aside, this model is not comfy to hold for long periods of time. I can tell you that much. All the spikes do not make a comfy handhold. So a fair warning if you plan to work on this model yourself. It's the spikes are definitely making themselves felt. Alright. Fire and the Flames Part 2. Red. So the idea with this is kind of cover up any bits that don't look right. Any patchiness, any weird, like, weirdly shaped blobs, all that sort of thing. And just complete the overall kind of color scheme for the fire here. Kind of like I did with the yellow, I'm not looking for creating a specific pattern with this. It's just covering any bits that look kind of odd. And making sure that, you know, all the colour is where it should be and all that jazz. So all the bits in between all these grills and stuff will get tidied up at a later point. I'm not too worried about, you know, paint overspill and stuff like that at the moment. Alright. Same again on this side. Covering up any bits that have, you know, weird colour poke throughs and all that jazz. Because this is kind of a translucent colour in a way. It still lets some of the yellow poke through and kind of blend and create some really nice variations. Okay. Alright, how's that? Now, if I grab this one, I think. Okay. Part one of the rusting. The rustining. So I'm getting quite a scratchy, coarse brush here. Dry. Scrag brown. So this I'm a little bit apprehensive about. I've got something that's a bit of a painting weakness of mine, which is dry brushing. But what you effectively do is use Scrag Brown and dry brush it across. Now you might see I'm using two brushes. I'm using a coarse brush to apply it, and then a dry, soft brush to kind of blend it out a little bit so it's not quite so harsh and speckly. And I just kind of keep adding until I'm satisfied with the effect. Add it with a little bit more. So you want it to look uneven at this stage. You don't want it to look perfect. You don't want perfect dots and stripes of even brown tone colour, because it's going to look weird. I don't think anyone's ever seen rust move in perfect stripes. If they have, I'd be happy to be corrected, but now, I know a lot of people swear by like technical paints like Rise of Rust and all that jazz. Honestly, this has been the most foolproof technique I've encountered. Because the natural inclination, well, the natural spread of the paint means that it kinda does its own thing. As long as that soft brush keeps moving in circles, doesn't stay in one place too much. You get some really nice effects. And Scrag Brown's got some like great orangey tone to it. Great orange and light off browns in there. So it kind of, once it blends out with the green, looks great as a rust. Now bearing in mind some of this will get painted over with, you know, washes and yeah, more colour, more metal. So, don't worry too much if it's a little overwhelming right now. This is one of those trust the process situations. Yeah, this is the chance to make it as aesthetically pleasing or as gross as you like. Me, I kind of like the heavy corrosion look, so I'm kind of going a little bit ham with it. Hi Hen, welcome in. How you doing? I'm just keeping the motions kind of circular, and I'm making sure that paint spreads evenly wherever possible. How are you? I am doing well, thank you. I am cold. It is really cold here today, but other than that, I am well, thank you. Kind of having some fun, like, splashing paint everywhere on this model. We had a full work day. Oh, I hope it wasn't too busy, Hen. But yeah, just kind of having fun with this. So we've gone from a nice clean foresty green colour to kind of starting to rust it up a bit and corrode the metals a little. Yeah, just generally making a little bit of a mess of it. So in the little story that I'm making up for this guy, I think he's not quite fully gunked up. You can kind of still see a lot of what was underneath that is getting there. It's starting to take over. Okay, not too heavy. Oh, that's good. I'm glad to hear that you're not too busy. I very much hit the I don't like Christmas anymore stage of retail help. In fact, the reason why I'm not really doing much festive on stream at the moment is because I have to deal with it a lot at work and it's just draining. Plus, people are dicks at this time of year. I don't know what it is about Christmas that turns people into dicks to retail staff, but it's really not fun. But yeah, just kind of doing a chill thing today. Oh my goodness. Hey, it's the Envy. Welcome in. Thank you so much for the follow. I hope you're having a lovely day or night wherever you are. But yes, in terms of what I'm doing on stream, I might do another Darktide stream later this week because they just had a big old content drop. So it might be this week, it might be next week that I stream that. And I'm going to do some donation incentives as well for the charity campaign. So things like what you can see on there. Or if you donate $10 or more to the WWF, you can pick my class in game. I think I'm going to do a stream of that at some point, either this week or next week. Nice. I'm so excited. I'm going to be checking it out off stream first. So that, you know, I can anticipate any bugs, questions, problems that might pop up. But Darktide has definitely become my main game these days. I just did too good a job on it. And if I wasn't in the mood to chill, I would probably play the soundtrack for you a lot, so you could appreciate it. But yeah, keen to show off the new stuff. Apparently there's some new guns and a new mission turning up. So that will appear at some point this week. I'm not sure when. I want to do more streams. Dang, day job getting in the way of it. Okay. So all I'm doing here is just kind of toning down some areas where I went a little bit too heavy-handed with the green. Not the green, the brown. Or if it looks a little bit too much like just a block colour. Again, you can kind of adjust this backward and forward as much as you like at this point. Like if you decide actually you preferred it more rusted up, you can go back, add another dry brush layer of scrag brown until you're happy with it. But I think I'm going to go for the scruffy but not quite gone look. Okay, that's not the colour I want to use right now. That's fine. So again, as I mentioned, I'm kind of going for flesh underneath the armour. So that's where all this sort of pink colour's coming in. So I'm more marking it out than anything else at the moment. Just kind of working out where all that's going to sit in terms of the model itself. Then I'll add, highlights and stuff like that to make it look more fleshy, I guess. It's the only way I can really describe it. I'm going to make it look more fleshy later on. That's what I'm kind of trying to block out at the moment just different areas where you'd actually probably see flesh poking through the armor joins. Just refreshing this a little bit, now it's settled as well. Alrighty. Moving along. Again, you can kind of see it under the smokestacks. Yeah, around all these pistons and joints. Hey Andy, welcome in. What have you been up to today? I hope you've had a restful day so far. I know it's early for you. Okay. Again, I'm just kind of getting the underside of the pistons and stuff. I don't do as much detail on areas that you're not really going to see. For, you know, what I hope are obvious reasons. But I still like to make sure that if you took a glance at, you'd actually see something. Yeah, pickaxe to Andy. It's good to see you there, Andy. Alright, I think I've got most of the major areas that I wanted to cover with that. Just coming in from the top now. Could be better. That's understandable. Don't forget to take time for yourself. Take it easy on yourself. But I hope it gets easier. For obvious reasons, I don't want to linger on it too much, but take time for yourself. It's important. Especially when things are rough. That is thirst tweet. Thirst tweet? Who would do such a thing, huh, hen? I don't know what you mean. Where's my music gone? Do I need to restart already? I don't know. And causing trouble. I mean, mysterious unnamed artist that is definitely not hen causing trouble. Oh, I was so happy that I got to catch a stream again, hen. I missed your streams. It's so comfy just watching you paint. Nice. Oh. I'm glad you're doing more of your like cosplay stuff on stream. It is really nice. It's really cool as well because it's not something I know a huge amount about, but obviously there's quite a lot of people who do it, so it's cool learning more about it. Nice that you get work done when you chat with people. I imagine it makes the time go quicker, maybe. Even when we're distracting you with things like cameos and all that sort of thing. Talking about certain voice actors and fanfics and you know, totally innocent stuff. Yeah, some random topics. Yeah, it's nice. It was really comfy. So I was also working. So it was nice to like feel like there were other people there. Twitch is so good for that sort of thing. Like I quite often have like Geef or someone like that on while I'm working. And it's just so nice to feel like there's other people around who don't make you feel totally insane. Like I do with some of my work colleagues. Or some of my customers. It's super cool. Alrighty. I noticed that that's something that is kind of getting popular on Twitch. Of like, I think it's called body doubling, where people are streaming themselves doing things like studying or, you know, just working a regular desk job to kind of make people feel like they're less alone while they're doing it themselves. I thought it was a really sweet idea. As I understand it, there's also potentially something with helping people with ADHD or ADD, whichever term is most applicable. But I don't fully understand that. Yes, yeah. When you work at home, having streams open is definitely like having someone there physically with you. Oh, Duolingo, that's a cool idea. Especially if you're actually wanting to learn a language as well. Yeah, like I'm not fully read up on the idea, so please forgive me if I get anything wrong. But as I understand it, it's kind of like a productivity thing, so it helps people focus on whatever it is they're doing. I've not tried it myself, so I honestly can't speak for anyone who has. Or whether or not it's effective or anything like that, but it's something I'm interested in. It's something I'm kind of learning more about as we go. But it's awesome seeing just the variety of what people come out with these days. There's something for everyone. Twitch is not just about gaming anymore. Case in point, I'm sat here painting a Warhammer figure at past 10 p.m. chatting to some of my favorite people. And yeah, normally painting is a solitary thing, so it's kind of cool to share that with people. Get these highlights in. Oh, I love the dancing kitty, Indy. Super cool. Stretch. Sorry, folks, bear with me a second. Just stretching my hands out. Because it's cold, my hands are cramping up a little bit quicker than usual, so just trying to stretch it out. I should have waited to do this later. I forgot this is a very stinky paint. My entire hobby room is gonna smell like this paint now. Okay. So I do kind of want the like demonic skull face looking things on these stacks to stand out. But I don't want them to look like they're a whole separate thing, so I'm going with a metallic to start with. If that doesn't work, I might switch track and just make them, like, just go whole hog with like a flesh color on them. Turn them into fleshy decorations instead. Then I want to see what the metallic looks like first. Because then I can paint over it in flesh if I need to. Ignore that. Definitely wasn't anything falling off the desk. Not sure how I feel about the gold skulls. I'm not gonna keep working on them for now. I'm gonna move on to other stuff and I might come back to it later. When I see how they look a bit later on. Then I did want to add some basically gold dot detail all over the place. We've got a lot of like pins and things like that. It's a very easy way to sort of add a bit of variation without making it too crazy. Get some copper colorings for some of the metal. So I'm using the copper again as a kind of easy way to break up the metal without just turning it into a sea of silver and wash. That later, I think. But metallics can be a bit tricky to work with, so that's why I'm trying to take it slowly, I think is the best way to put it. I don't want to go too overboard with anything. So I just want it in little details like around here. I don't know, just trying to tie it all together. Go around the eyes. So. Okay, that's a little better. I'm a little happier with that. Okay, so now it's dried a little bit. I'm going to start on this big one here first. Doing a bit of a wash. Good old Seraphim Sepia. Instantly it all looks grimy and gross. So I'm deliberately not covering all of it. In the same way that I don't want the whole thing brown from the rust colours, I'm not going for full oily, gross looking metal. This is basically just another stage in the weathering effect. But it's quite a dramatic one. Makes a massive, massive difference. So with this one, if you're not familiar with it, you're not familiar with using stuff like this as a weathering tool, tread lightly. It's much, much easier to add more layers of this on than it is to try and paint over it. As you can probably imagine. but it's great for a lot of silver areas, trying to make the metal look oily or aged. Same on this side. So we'll make the whole thing look very dark. So going back in over it with some highlights or anything like that, it's perfectly fine. No worries, Indy. Rest well. I hope you feel, I hope you get plenty of rest and get to relax a bit. And take it easy. Thank you so much for stopping in and saying hi. I appreciate it. Okay, I'm kind of not touching these stacks at the moment because I'm not really sure what direction I want to go with them now. My original idea for them is not working out as well as I'd hoped. So I'm not touching them for now. I will probably come back to them and change it up a little. So I'm kind of focusing on the grunginess at the moment. Bunch! Thank you so much for the posture check. I hope everyone is sitting comfortably. If you're not, don't forget to stretch, relax your shoulders, and clench your jaw. I'm going to take this moment to have a hand stretch as well. Hello, Bunch. I hope you're doing well. How's things? I saw you were doing some... was it some printing? The past couple of days? What is it you're working on at the moment? Alright, it's time for some basing materials to get on here. Okay, that's the crackly one. Cool. Being high on life, running a gag coin. A one fuck token. I like it. So is it like spend a token to get out of jail free for swearing, or different kind of fuck? I'm not familiar with High on Life, so... Last fucking game. Love it. I think someone already took my last fuck to give coin. No, I kid. But I love the idea. That's great. Like, is this Rick and Morty nonsense? Okay. Nice. So yeah, the last fuck to give token definitely makes sense. I'll have to come by when you stream it next and check it out. Assuming time zones line up. I love it as an idea there. I kind of feel like I need one of those for work. You just hand it to your boss at the end of a bad day. See if they get it. Head and neck person gets me bogged down in pointless bullshit. I would, but I don't think I can throw that far. I get it. I know the feeling. Although, honestly, these days, all my drama shit is work related. It's quite refreshing. If I could get rid of my day job, I'd have a drama-free life, which is pretty spectacular. Long may it persist. I hope you can get free of the pointless bullshit bunch. That sucks. I don't miss it. I suppose you could argue it keeps life interesting, right? Maybe a little too interesting, but at least you're not bored. Around to enjoying your job again? Oh, that's cool. You really like operating adjustment. That's awesome, actually. That sounds great. I thought I'd like my job a lot more than I actually do. Unfortunately. Because it's kind of customer service, but it's meant to be specifically about, like, hobby stuff. But unfortunately, I end up doing more run-of-the-mill customer service stuff than anything else. So the realities don't match the job description I was sold on, so I'm kind of frustrated. Hey, it pays the bills. Can't complain now. Just about. Just about pays the bills. But yeah. I'm glad that your job's gotten better. I'm glad that you're enjoying it. And I hope it continues to be enjoyable for you. I'm really glad I'm not customer. Yeah. I'm starting to realize that a lot of my issues were stemming from unnecessary people-related stress. And as someone who is very strongly introverted, spending 10.5 hours of a day dealing with people, customers, then finishing and trying to stream was causing a lot of people-related stress. So I'm trying to get trained up in to be able to move into positions that are less people-oriented. But my current job, unfortunately, is very much people. So I have to put up with it for the foreseeable future. But yeah. Customer service is tough. And if anyone who is lurking is in retail at the moment, big love to you, because it sucks. Retail at Christmas is the absolute worst. But I'm hoping to move out of it in the next couple of years. It's just about finding a job that will fit. Yeah, basically, I'm at that stage at the moment. Bunch. And it's like, even the nice ones, I don't know, it's the end of the year as well, so my batteries are kind of low anyway. But I mean, for example, today I had someone argue with me for over 45 minutes because I couldn't make their parcel arrive any quicker than the postal service would deliver it. And they tried to argue with me about it. And bearing in mind, in the UK, we've also got postal worker strikes. So this week alone, I think we've only had 2 days where parcels would have actually been delivered. And it's like, trying to make someone understand that, you know, you as a customer service worker are not responsible for the postal service being on strike, whilst also trying to simultaneously be nice to them and not just completely lose your mind at them for being unreasonable is so mentally taxing. No worries, Sponge, no worries. But yeah. Dealing with unreasonable customers. Bane of my life. Hey, the positive of that, it's given me a really good incentive to move out of customer service. That's many days. Oh man. See, I used to be in one of those kind of jobs. But it got to the point where they put so much on my plate that I couldn't handle it anymore and left. I kind of miss it because there were no customers. It was all internal. So, yeah, I think I'm just kind of not designed for regular 9 to 5. That's what I'm swiftly learning. That temperamentally, I am much better off in a more freelance lifestyle. But I actually need to set up a freelance business that will pay the bills before I can transition into that. So that's kind of what I'm working on these days. And I just don't know what to do. Ask for 50 other jobs. You're a technician, aren't you, Bunch? This sounds like technician work. It sounds like what I used to do in a lab. It's a little bit of a lot of other people's jobs. Yep. Yep. Oh, that sounds fun. Wow, I'm getting flashbacks. Theodore. I don't know what that title refers to, but it sounds a hell of a lot like a technician. The invisible, well, not necessarily invisible, rarely credited role that ends up doing the job of half a dozen other people in any given day. And yet everything crashes and burns when they're not around. Landing on unloading ships. That is cool. Very excited to be everything I ever scream at people. Ah, I'm jealous. I wish I could get away with screaming at people, but apparently that costs the company money when I do that. For the record, I don't actually scream at people out loud. I would just very much like to. I keep putting my foot in my hand in the basing material. Just like that. I waited till the end to put that on. I know better. It shouldn't be this hard as the mantra of pretty much everyone at any given job that I know, apart from those who are lucky enough to be self-employed. Truck drivers are the bane to my day today. Oh boy. I mean, I deal with... For me, it's the people who... What's the best way to put this? Some people approach customer service with an expectation that they will get everything they want without them having to do any work. Without realizing that in order to help someone, that individual needs to give information so that the problem can be diagnosed. Yeah, the willfully ignorant and arrogant. I deal with a lot of people like that in my job, not necessarily truck drivers, but it's things like they'll come asking for a tracking number for an order and then get angry when I ask them what their order number is. Or, you know, for their address so that I can find which order out of the literal millions that we process every day would be theirs. It's like, I can give you this information, I just need something more than my order to find it. Just, like, help me help you. Please. Pretty please. I deal with that situation on a multiple time a day basis. It's just, well, why do you need my order number? Why do you need this? It's like, so I can find the information that you want me to give you. Why don't you just have it? Well, because we deal with millions of customers every day. And unfortunately, you're just a name. I will see over 100 customer names in any given day. You are just a name. I'm really sorry, but you are one of 100 people I will speak to today. I'm not going to remember your name. Cell phones. Oh, it honestly, Bunch. You're one of my favorite kinds of people. The people who turn up and they have everything. They're like, yep, here's the information you need. Here's this, here's that. No problem. Take your time. It's all good. I love customers like that. Or at least if they don't have it with them, they don't then get angry at me because they didn't know they needed the information. They're just like, yep, sure, this is it. Or, you know, have it in under a minute kind of thing. Like, the people who clearly have worked in customer service before, they're my favorite customers because they're on it. They get it. Oh, especially at this time of year. And it's like, hey, yeah, I know you're busy, so I'm just gonna do this super quick. I'm not gonna take up any more of your time than I need to. That's considerate. And so helpful. Yes! Oh man. Customers that are organized are just the best. The sheer relief of, oh my god, you have everything I need to actually help you in this situation is just unbelievable. To be honest, at this time of year, just customers that say please and thank you. You won't believe how rare that is on emails and live chats, which is what I mainly work on. Like, people just don't want to take the effort to say please and thank you these days. Or at least at this time of year. And I know that makes me sound like super old and grumpy, but it's true. And you don't need to say it all the time, but just once in a conversation. But yeah. Stuff like that is why I'm trying to get out of customer service and customer facing roles in general. It just isn't for me anymore. Live chats. Yeah, I work. My job is, I'd say, 95% live chats, and the rest are follow up emails. So, yeah. Half the time, the first question I get is, "Are you a human?" Which, I mean, I guess is understandable, but it always makes me laugh. And yeah, people just, even after asking that question, they kind of forget that there's a human being on the other side of the screen. That's why I'm always, very acutely aware of it in my own life. With things like streaming as well. Chat AIs. I mean, yes and no. Some of the chat AIs I encounter just send you in infuriating circles. But we're not actually scripted at my job. So we're allowed to sort of type our own messages. Excuse me. I mean, we're beholden to policy still, but we are actually allowed to talk like human beings. Yeah, they can't do subtext and inference, but no, I get, because I'm one of those people who I'll only contact customer service as a last resort. Because nothing annoys me more than a customer who clearly hasn't bothered trying first. Like, even the ones that just go off the handle for no reason, if you clearly haven't bothered trying to help yourself, it just makes it frustrating. And then I sound like the asshole because it's a really simple solution 9 times out of 10. But yeah, chat AIs drive me nuts because they can't do it. They can't do complex cases. I said before, and I fully intend to do this at one point, but I want to write a book that's kind of like 10 ways you're pissing off your customer service rep and how to avoid them. I doubt anyone will actually read it, but it would be cathartic. Yeah. Princesses that cannot. Oh man. I give me a set. Yeah. I'm not gonna get into it because I'll rant forever and a day on it. Plus, it might give away where I work too much. But no, I don't know about GPT-3. I don't know about that. No, I genuinely, at the very least, I'm going to do a mini article on it one day. Just like, look, people. I'm out of customer service now, so I can say this. You are pissing every single customer service agent you meet off. I wonder if BuzzFeed would hire me for that one article. Because some people just really need to, like, understand what it's like on the other side of the customer service desk. There we go. Fixed all the damage my hands have done to that. Oh, this is chat AI. I take freelance pictures. That would be tempting. Freelance writing is something that I can see myself doing. Honestly, if I had the confidence, I'd do freelance creative writing. But I don't have the confidence for that. Yes. I've said this before a bunch. I think someone, like, especially politicians, should have at least the bare minimum of 6 months in a customer-facing role at minimum wage. Specifically, like, retail or customer service roles at minimum wage before they start trying to harp on about, you know, jobs in general. Yeah. Yeah, I completely agree with that. It teaches you empathy and patience. Like, people have said, oh, I don't know how you put up with all, like, X, Y, Z, and I'm just like, I have worked in customer service for 5 years and counting. That's how I deal with X, Y, Z. Like, if you worked in customer service, your patience and tolerance level for bullshittery is pretty damn high. Especially if you've ever done it across Christmas. Because whatever it is about the season makes just customers as a, you know, as an entity just 10 times more difficult to deal with than they have to be. Not much patience for bad service. Yeah, I'm kind of the same. Like, my partner hasn't worked in customer service as much as I have, so it doesn't quite have it. But I'm just like, no, they're bullshitting you. I have just a ultra sensitive customer service bullshit meter. So if the agent is being lazy or anything like that, I am the most difficult customer to deal with. Because I get it. We all have bad days, we all have lazy days, but customer service is not a difficult job in the sense of it's not hard to get it right. Yeah. I have said very similar things on more than one occasion. It's usually when they try and bullshit me about like, oh, regulations don't permit me. I'm like, well, actually, I work in customer service, so I know you're lying. Or like, oh, well, we have to keep this due to data, and I'm like, no, you don't. Don't lie to me. Well, we can't refund you because of this. So it's like, well, that's funny because the PayPal policy is this. It's just like, oh, yes, surprise. Yes. The hard part is enduring, well, just enduring, you know. The actual, the tasks that you have to do are not challenging. It is the environment that you have to do them in that will slowly send you insane. Yeah, just enduring. But yeah. I'm hoping I can find some freelance work that will let me start charting a path out of it. Because I don't think I can. Don't think I can go another 5 years on customer service. Let's put it that way. And as much as I love streaming, I can't pin all my hopes on it as my way out. I really need to make sure I have a backup plan. Is any break here? Yes. Yeah, I know what you mean, Bunch. And honestly, you don't sound condescending because I've been given the same advice, or the almost the exact same phrase appears in almost every bit of research I've done about freelancing as a general thing. My problem is, and I don't mean to sound arrogant when I say this, but I'm good at quite a lot of things. I'm good at customer service. I have multiple degrees in sciences. I have creative talents ish. So it's more my focus is too broad at the moment, and I know I need to narrow my focus a little bit before I can start. Yeah, I'm very much a jack of all trades. Um, and I know that going into freelancing, being a jack of all trades is kind of helpful, but mostly it's a hindrance because you're just all over the place and you end up spinning 100 plates at once. Mind reveals the very concept of specializing. I mean, I'm good at a lot of things. I can do a lot of things. But I'm actually at heart a specialist. I just haven't found the thing to get really specialized in yet. I think I kind of might have hit on it. I think I know, but I also don't know how to turn that into money. So I don't know if that's the one yet, but I know the thing that my mind like latches onto the most. So there's something there, but without I can't really talk about a lot of it without going into details that might then be used against me in the future. So I'm in a bit of a tricky situation at the moment with that. ADHD. That's fair enough. That's understandable, Blanche. I am fortunate enough to at least not have ADHD. And I know what I'm most interested in. And I know the subject matters that I can see myself, you know, working crazy hours to do it. And honestly, like I'm going to talk in broad terms because, like I said, a lot of it is up in the air at the moment. But mainly, I want to go into ecology. So science writing, kind of breaking down science into layman's terms is kind of my jam. Like one of the things I really loved being a technician was actually teaching. But I don't want to go down the formal like teacher qualification route because it like actually being a teacher is not something that appeals to me. But helping people to learn more is something that does. It's a bit of a weird scenario. So, I don't know, I thought about doing like informational blogs or, you know, spot writing for, you know, like science magazines and things like that. But I don't know yet. There's a lot of different things going on that kind of make it a bit tricky. Because ultimately, as much as I'd be like, you know, follow your passions, go where you're most interested. I also have to be pragmatic and see what's realistically feasible. So I love the idea of environmental consulting. Sort of helping people convert to a more green way of living. But again, it's about seeing what's feasible. Brian Cox? Yeah. Yeah, I love the idea of being, you know, ecology's Brian Cox kind of thing, but yeah. I don't know. I don't know enough about it because I come from a background of very, like, traditional, formal training for traditional careers, and freelancing was not a topic that was really covered. So, I don't really have resources, training, anything like that I can call on at the moment. And that's the stage I'm kind of at, where I'm like trying to understand what it is I am moving into and how I can make it work for me with my skill set. Like, I've got some passion projects going, but they are literally just, you know, kind of for me more than anything else. Yeah, like I've been working on a diploma just because I felt like it. Which sounds kind of dumb, but I like, you know, learning things. I've been working on stuff for that. Yeah, it's just finding them. Bunch is kind of the problem. Yeah, it's finding the places that take the kind of material that I can write. I said it's a wide world, and I only have a very limited amount of free time to do this sort of stuff in at the moment. So a lot of my free time is taken up with kind of trying to get it off the ground. It's just very slow going. Because, you know, it's a big deal. Whole new change of career. Whole new change of lifestyle as well. It's definitely something I'm actively working towards there. It'd be cool. But I've been reading up a lot about freelancing and kind of what you need to know, what you need to understand before you go into it. Just need to narrow it down a little bit more. We'll get there in time. I'm both simultaneously taking my time with it and also kind of like slightly on a... I don't want to say I'm on a clock or a deadline, but I'm also kind of working on a self-imposed deadline. Because I don't want to be stuck. Is what I'm worried about. I don't want to get stuck in one thing and not being able to move. But hopefully there'll be some progress. I think next year I might start publicly releasing some of the writing that I'm working on. No, even if it's just a blog. You know, even if I just start a blog, or at least like publish a blog, you know, and then go from there. We'll see. It's getting published, yeah. I'm working on it. We'll see. We'll see what the future holds. I know. Like my interest is basically kind of talking about ecology, climate change, how the global environment affects an individual. And sort of really easy day-to-day things that we can do to make the average Western life more eco-friendly. Because it's actually, when you get into it, there's a lot, and it's amazing how small actions add up. But a lot of people kind of get overwhelmed when they think about the big picture problem. So yeah, like kind of breaking it down and bringing it more to an individual level, that's kind of where the space that I'm in at the moment and where I'm kind of like really excited. But it's hard to find places that are interested in taking that kind of piece. But we'll see. We'll see. I have rambled for far too long though. And I do actually need to end the stream because I need to get ready for my current day job in the morning. But I appreciate the encouragement, Bunch. I really do. I might have to pick your brains about getting in touch with some of the people that you know who have done it in the future. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it there for now. I will be streaming more painting on Sunday. It's going to be some festive pieces. So for those who are interested, there's a sneak peek of what I'm painting on Sunday. I'm super excited about it because he's so cute. I have also got another piece. But that's the main thing I'm going to be working on Sunday. Right. Nice little festive piece. But yeah, I'll be working on that on Sunday. I hope some of you can join me for then, even if not all of them. All of you, even. My goodness. Brain. I'm going to leave it there for today, though. Thank you all so much for joining me. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night, wherever you are in the world. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe. And I will see you soon. Bye for now, folks.